So I believe you would say this is part three, and I'm going to talk about the home and family dynamic shift after this incident. So, as I said, the kids were at school this entire time that this occurred. And once I got home, basically the house started becoming a mini hospital because I could absolutely not move. And any move that I made, twist or turn, I could feel it in the ankle. And so it came time to go pick up the kids. And so husband went to go pick them up. My sister and my mom stayed with me. So I already knew that Boo Thang was going to tell them what happened on their way home. I hear the door open and slow walking. You could hear the footsteps very slow compared to they come busting through the door, loud, running, and all that. Totally different that day. And in my mind, as a mother, I had all sorts of emotions going on in my mind. And I did not know what I was going to see on their face when they came around that corner. First face I saw was my son, who's 7. And he seemed a little like shy to come and look at me because, of course, they don't know what they're going to see. And Lord knows how my husband explained it. But he came around the corner and he came right to me and he gave me a hug and he said, "Are you okay, mommy?" And of course, me trying to hold back my tears and be, strong because kids can sense, different emotions and fear and all of that. So I tried to be strong and I said, "Yes, mommy's okay." Now, my daughter, on the other hand, who's 9, did not come around that corner. And I could hear my husband like, "Come on over here and see your mother." It took her a good minute to come around the corner to finally look at me. And I know she was scared because she knows mommy as this bubbly, energetic, always up and moving mother. And she comes around the corner and she sees me with this huge cast on and foot propped up, and I look a hot mess. And she comes over and she starts crying. And she was like, "Mommy, I'm so scared. How are you feeling?" And stuff. So all I could do was console her. Once the kids finally collected themselves, and then having my sister and my mom there also helped with them interceding and, calming them down. We got to business with the house. So I knew with the pain that I was having, I wasn't going to be able to get up in the steps in my room. I didn't feel like it, did not want to. The living room basically became my room. So we moved the coffee table, placed the TV up in the front. That's how I was living for however long. And as I mentioned, the house became a mini hospital. My sister left out, went to go find the boot cover so that when I could take a shower, I'd have my boot protected. The first floor bathroom became my sink where I would wash up and stuff. But until then, until I could tolerate the pain and finally get up the steps, is when I could actually use the boot cover. But husband made a couple calls and some good friends was able to donate some things from past family members who had surgery. So I had a scooter up in the house. I had a toilet seat, razor, whatever you want to call it, to go over the toilet because it was hard for me to sit down because my knee was so swollen. And we had a chair for the shower. Once I was able to get in the shower, I'd have to sit down because I couldn't bear weight. But it was just difficult for me to stand, period, especially with me on medications, which I hate taking, but I had to take the medications. And so I would sit, brush my teeth, all of that. So the crutches, it just looked like a mini hospital. So the home dynamics was an immediate 360. And it was something that we needed to get used to pretty quickly because that was going to be our new norm, especially my new norm for however long my recovery was going to be. And I'm going to tell you, as anybody would think this listening to the story, it was definitely not easy, because when you're hurt, you know that there is absolutely nothing that you can do. And even if you wanted to, the people around you who love you and support you aren't going to let you do anything to worsen the situation. So that, on top of now, how do the family dynamics and the responsibilities, all those roles are now changing, and we've got to figure it all out. So yes, there was a lot of pain, frustration, anger, all of those things wrapped up in the beginning, but the healing process was already beginning, and the Lord was already and had already been in this. It was Him working faith and trust within me that I couldn't see at that time because of the pain. And my life was about to change, for the better. I will say that, and for my families as well. We just couldn't see it past the pain and that storm, because it was raining hard right then, and trying to figure your way through all of that. And so the house always remained a home, but it was definitely a different looking home than it was January 1st. That's how quickly things changed. And so I had to make the decision while I was going through this, how I was going to choose to live in this phase of my life, in this moment, how I was going to live, knowing that something bad happened to me, but how am I going to make this situation better? And so as I go through these parts, I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to continue on with the story. So hopefully you continue to ride out with me with this. The next part of it, I'm going to talk about the marriage aspect of this, from this incident. Check it out.